brought to you by Moultrie Mobile, also by Growing Deer.
Understanding when and where deer are active where you hunt is the key to putting more venison in your freezer. That is awesome! Folks certainly take off wandering through the woods every year and happen upon a deer and harvest it, but that's not the norm. We know that folks that scout and understand deer behavior are more likely to tag a good buck. The Moultrie mobile cameras and app are a great tool for hunters like me and you to learn more about deer behavior where we hunt and apply that to our hunting strategies. Deer frequently change their activity patterns, and these changes happen over and over and over throughout the hunting season. I found, as well as many others, that the best predictor of when and where deer are going to be active, especially during daylight hours, is the past 2 or 3 days of activity patterns at that location. Deer activity patterns are based on weather conditions, current food sources, and disturbances that may have happened where deer live in the past couple days. Several researchers, including myself, believe deer may pick up on certain aspects of the weather that allow them to forecast when a front is coming, and they can respond accordingly. That's why looking at the last 2 or 3 days of activity and looking for those shifts in activity are a great way to predict where deer are going to be active the next day. I'd like to share an easy and accurate way I've discovered to get that activity data for the past 2 or 3 days or past month if you want, that allows me to learn much more about how deer are using the proving grounds. I've got some Moultrie mobile trail cameras out, they're cell phone cameras, and I simply let them collect data and then open up the app and click on the icon in the top left corner. That's the filter icon. Then I open the Smart Tags option and select bucks or deer. I select bucks if I'm only concerned about buck behavior, buck activity. I select deer if I want to see bucks, does, and fawns and how they're using the property. Next, I select the time of day option. For most of us, we hunt a 3 or 4 hour block, so you might select from daylight, so say 6 a.m. to about 11 a.m. that morning. I'm going to select for an hour or so more that I might have time to hunt, just to make sure I'm not missing some activity. I select the date range, and I usually pick the past 2 or 3 days. A lot can happen in a week as far as periods when deer are active, so I like to look at the last 2 or 3 days. If a big weather changes come through, I'll probably narrow that to the last 2 days to get the response to that change. If the weather's been pretty stable, like here, we've been under a high pressure system for several days now, I'll look at the past 3 days. Couple easy steps, and then I hit apply, and it's just going to bring me to the gallery, and I can easily thumb through those pictures that meet that criteria. If I selected that morning time frame, I'm just going to see pictures taken during the morning, during the last couple of days, whatever I selected, and I'll know where the cameras are located, and I can easily tell, boy, they're coming to food plots in the morning, or they're using scrapes, or they're feeding on acorns, and that is a great way to scout. Having cameras on acorns and food plots and travel corridors, going through a few steps like this can let you know the best hunting locations on your property. I've said this before, but I wish I would have had these tools while I was in graduate school. I'm learning as much or more now with these simple tools than I did during a lot of years in college. I am really enjoying using this tool and learning a lot about the deer activity patterns exactly where I hunt. And that's the information we want. When and where are deer active where I'm hunting? Hope you have a great season and stay tuned to learn more about deer behavior.